Hey there, and welcome to Solid Reviews. I'm Solid Zaku, and I'll be reviewing Dragon Ball Super Battle of Gods Saga, also known as God of Destruction Beerus Saga. This covers episodes 1 through 14, and this will be the first part of 6 videos about Dragon Ball Super, in which I'll be reviewing the other sagas of this series and a series overall review of Dragon Ball Super. So definitely check out those videos after this one. So when it comes to the saga name, I just want to say it comes to a little bit of a split of what fans call this arc or saga. I've been reading on Dragon Ball fandom and Wikipedia, and it's been called God of Destruction Beerus Saga, but honestly, you'll see in a moment in my review why I'm calling this saga Battle of Gods Saga. In a nutshell, the first 14 episodes basically covers and retells the 2013 Dragon Ball Z movie Battle of Gods, which takes place a few years after the defeat of Majin Buu. Beerus, the god of destruction, and his attendant Whis go to Earth in search of this Super Saiyan god. The Super Saiyan god was something that Beerus had dreamt about in his long slumber, and he had this great desire to fight this Saiyan god for his own amusement. Now, trying to find these answers directly from the remaining Saiyans alive, Beerus and Whis visit Goku, who's training on King Kai's planet, and after a little bit of a fight, I wouldn't really call it much of a fight, Goku easily loses with 2 hits from Beerus. That's insane. The destructive dude then party crashes Bulma's birthday party just to get an answer from Vegeta, but unfortunately he didn't know anything as well about this Saiyan God. Not satisfied with Vegeta's and Goku's ignorance about the Super Saiyan God, Beerus was set to destroy the Earth because of this disappointment. Now, Vegeta and the others try to buy time and fend off Beerus, but with absolute no success, and I mean, what could they really do? Beerus is a god, so yeah. But Goku does arrive on time, and they all learn about the ancient Saiyan ritual to bring forth this Saiyan god. Now, after they perform this ritual, Goku is bestowed upon this godhood, and then it's basically up to him to save the Earth and give Beerus the amusement that he desires. But after all the fighting and power-ups, Goku was ultimately defeated by Beerus. However, as a god of destruction was about to destroy the Earth, he does spare the planet because he fell asleep. I'm sorry, that was kind of funny, but it actually was all of a ploy since he did enjoy his fight with Goku and the food on Earth. And this was more him just sparing them because he wants to see more from Goku and, of course, enjoy the delectable foods that we have on Earth. Now, right off the bat, I love that they finally made a movie source officially canon. Now, we do have that one exception of a Dragon Ball Z movie, Dead Zone, being official canon, but it was more of an offset being a movie and not part of the series itself. So I was really elated to see that Battle of Gods became, like, series canon. Now, forgive me if I don't remember much about Battle of Gods, the movie itself, because I haven't seen that movie since the theatrical release in 2013. So my memory's kind of fuzzy, but I do remember things very differently between the movie and the series. One thing I really do remember is that there was a difference in the description between the power levels of a mortal and a deity. In the movie, they were able to detect Beerus's energy levels, whereas in the show, they weren't able to detect him or Whis' energy levels. In the series, the two actually go on and explain the differences between mortals and deities and their energies, and that kind of blew my mind right there. It was like setting a brand new precedent and height for Goku and Vegeta to climb towards. Another thing I remember differently was how Vegeta was trying to appease Beerus. Glad they kept the whole "my Bulma" part for Vegeta, which brought a lot of laughs and awe in both the movie and series. Really funny how it's also brought up in a later episode by Goku. Now, the filler portions of this saga are actually kind of welcoming. Not that there's a whole lot of filler, it actually was just the first few episodes, which just reintroduces us to our characters, and then showing us what they've been doing from this time of peace after the fight with Buu. Now, it took me some time and looking it up through to finally realize that this series actually doesn't take place after Z. More specifically, the end episode of Dragon Ball Z. You see in the final episode, it actually shows Goku fighting Oob in the World Tournament and then taking him off to go training, and Pan is like 4 or 5 years old. Here in the series, Pan isn't even born yet, and Oob is just mentioned that he was reincarnated. So it kind of threw me off that it wasn't a directly towards the ending of Dragon Ball Z. And the best way I would describe this is that you would watch Dragon Ball Z up until the second to last episode. Do not watch the last episode. Watch all of Dragon Ball Super, then watch the last episode of Z. That's a little bit weird right there, but yeah. Now, the fights in this saga are alright for the most part. It's not too much of what we haven't already seen, but there were some nice twists and turns in these fights. Like when Goku first time fights Beerus on King Kai's planet. He's giving it his all even at Super Saiyan 3, and Beerus puts him down in just 2 hits. 2 hits, that's like a first, almost. And we even see that the others like Vegeta and these Z fighters try to stop Beerus too, but to no avail. I think the biggest thing here was just that seeing the comparison between mortal power levels and then deity level was the nice little twist here. It made it a little bit more exciting too. But after a while, it just became kind of, mundane or not super exciting. And that's why I said like the fights were kind of like all right, because you kind of had an idea of where it was going. And in terms of fighting animation, I really dig some of the stylistic changes and direction of the fight with Goku and Beerus post Godhood Ascension. The director used different angles and striking cuts during this fight that was visually more fluid and dynamic compared to what we've previously seen in other series fights. It really did keep things fresh. I think the only thing that I was a bit disappointed, or maybe it was just, kind of like fighting fatigue, but I felt like they could have shortened Goku's and Beerus' fight at the end by like an episode. It almost became comical when they kept on shouting and doing the exact same repeating animation of a single fist locking punch that ripples through the universe. But honestly, they could have cut back on this and almost an entire episode so that the fight didn't feel so dragged out. Overall, I enjoyed the Battle of God saga in Dragon Ball Super, but it wasn't anything to write home about. If you've seen the movie like myself, then it wasn't too much of a surprise of what happens in this saga, but the retelling does keep it a bit fresh by adding more to the lore, a viable threat for our heroes, and plenty of dynamics in the fights that keep them interesting. Dragon Ball Super Battle of God saga gets a solid 3 out of 5. So that's my thoughts on Dragon Ball Super Battle of God saga. But tell me, what do you think of my opinion or your thoughts on this saga? Leave a comment down below. If you're new to my channel and want to see more reviews, please subscribe to my channel and make sure to click the bell button to get notifications when I release new reviews and videos. Thanks for watching this episode of Solid Reviews, and until the next review, see you next time.